Alright, right here we're starting off with a flat bench dumbbell bench press. So keep in mind we're going to be doing 5 exercises straight through with 30 seconds of rest in between each exercise, okay? So that's going to be our Spartan set. Right here, just coming down with control, about 90 degrees, pushing up without locking out 100% on top. Okay, keep your scapula retracted into the bench and feet flat on the floor. Obviously, the goal of these is to use control. You're going to become a little more fatigued than normal doing these kind of sets, but try to progress and move up in weight, throughout each set if possible. So resting 30 seconds and then immediately moving that incline up a notch. Still hitting a low incline, okay? It's not a high incline. And then we're going to be hitting 8 reps here with this angle. So that 30 seconds of rest is going to allow your body to recover a little bit. So you're not going to be totally drained. You still will have some strength left, but it's really going to push you past that intensity barrier and that plateau of just using single sets. Okay, so right here, once again, 90 degrees, pushing up and slightly together without locking out. Another 30-second rest, and then I'm moving that incline up another notch. So this is about 50 degrees or so. The more inclined you get, you got to really focus on keeping that chest lifted up, scapula, dig back into the bench. And then my elbows don't come out high and wide. If you come out too high and wide, you're going to really hit your shoulders too much. I let them dip down just a little bit to keep them in alignment with my pecs. And that's really important to keep that in mind. So, you feel it more on your chest and less on your shoulders. Okay, so your chest should be feeling pretty good right now. Another 30-second rest. Then hitting this Svend press for the upper chest. You can see I'm standing up here. I'm cupping that dumbbell, grabbing it with one hand, then cupping it with the other hand, pushing it together. That's going to be the important thing with this exercise, is pushing together, because you're going to get that tension throughout, and then, pushing up to the top without locking out. You can see I'm only pushing up about maybe 60 or 70%. That's to keep tension on my upper chest, right in the center. If I lock up too high, I'm going to be hitting the shoulders, the triceps a little too much. So really focus on, keeping that constant tension on your chest. Very good exercise. Another 30-second rest. And then push-ups to failure, okay? So do as many as you can. If you can't even do these, go ahead and drop to the knees, and you can still do push-ups on your knees. Really just the goal here is just to get blood into your chest as much as possible while keeping your form. And then, of course, that's going to complete one round. We are going to rest, the recommended rest period, and then repeat this for 5 total sets. Okay, so your workout's going to finish relatively quick, but your chest is going to be just destroyed. Making sure you keep good form throughout, right? That's going to be the focus. Then here, we're going to move on to the tricep. Okay, so once again, 5 exercises straight. This one, we're going to be starting off with a close grip. So with your close grip presses, you only want to come down. You can see my elbows line up with about the sides of my body or my lats. Don't go all the way down. And then as you come up, you do want to lock out with control. You don't want to hyperextend your elbow, but you want to come up as high enough to where you can contract your triceps. I also found keeping my legs up on the bench right here, you can kind of see with my toes up, it just helps me kind of push my abdomen down a little more and focus more on my triceps. So you can try that and see how it feels. And then 30 seconds of rest after this. Hitting our next movement here. Still on the flat bench. It's going to be a skull crusher, but we're going to be rotating to underhand. Okay, you can see a slight rotation as I'm doing that extension up, rotating to underhand. You're going to fill this in a little different spot than doing normal skull crushers. Also, when you come down, focus on full range of motion. So a deep stretch to where that top of the dumbbell almost hits, past your shoulder cap. And then once again, I like putting my feet up on the bench. Helps me focus more on my triceps. So a pretty unique one here, just a slight tweak to the angle just to feel it a little bit more. And then resting 30 seconds. Go ahead and elevate that bench a couple notches, about 45, 50 degrees. I like standing up on this one to create more clearance for the dumbbells. So you can see my traps are actually like off the top of the bench. But my butt is still on the bench as well. And as I come down behind my head, those dumbbells come together. And then I'm rotating them as I come up and extend them up towards the ceiling. Okay? And when you do extend them, you want to make sure it's above the top of your head. You don't want to bring them forward more because those dumbbells are going to drop down in front of you. So slow, full stretches. And then extend and rotate and contract. Okay, so the triceps should be feeling it pretty good right about now. Another 30-second rest, and then we're going to go to the floor and do a single arm plank to a kickback. Notice my planked arm is sideways. Okay, you got to do that to create more stability. And then I'm trying to keep my hips straight, so your obliques are going to really fire on this one. And then I'm just trying to keep my arms to the side of my body and up high and just, focus on that extension and hold. You don't have to go too heavy on this one. Go pretty light to moderate, making sure you can get that contraction and squeeze on top. So both sides right there. Rest 30 seconds, and we're going to finish our last one for triceps, which is going to be a, close grip incline push-up. So, elbows tucked in, focus more on the triceps with this one. You will feel it a little bit in the chest. And then notice my knees are bent slightly. That makes it harder. And coming down with a super slow negative. And then really just focusing on your triceps doing the work. If you push out with your chest, it's going to be pretty easy. You have to really visualize your, extending your arms out and your triceps doing the contraction. And that's going to make it a little bit harder. So do as many as you can. And then, we're going to rest and then repeat this for a total of 3 sets. And then here, finishing off with the core. So we're going to be doing a couple exercises here, starting off with a 90-degree crunch. So, when I do these crunches, my fingers are behind my ears, not behind my head. My chin is up, my elbows are out, and I'm just focusing on my upper abs doing the work. Okay, so constant tension, just contract, coming down, contract. Lower abs will get some work too by, holding up your legs like this. Okay, and then right after we do this one, we're going to go to our next movement. It's going to be a scissor crunch. So feet are flat on the floor. Same position for the arms and the elbows. Elbows are out, fingers behind the ears. Chin is up. And I'm really just trying to rotate more than crunch on this one. So visualize like your body just rotating, up to your knees. You're not trying to really lift your head up too much on this one. So you should feel this one a little more in your obliques. And your abs should be firing pretty good right now. Then right after this one, we're going to go to our last. It's going to be lower ab focus. So leg raises, 15 reps. I like to put my hands under my butt. You can put your hands out to the side if you want. And then I also like to elevate my head with my chin up slightly. This just helps keep my back in better alignment and my lower back flat on the floor. You don't want your lower back arched on this one. So my knees are bent slightly, just focusing on rolling my hips up and getting that good burn. And that's going to be 1 set for this. So triple set, 3 in a row. Rest, repeat these for the desired sets. And your abs should be torched. Great workout. See you soon.